Edible Lab here. Today I'm going to be tasting this fruit, fairly uncommon, yet common at the same time. A temperate fruit called the Loquat. I'm in Japan at the moment, and Loquats have just come into season. They're in the rose family, so they're actually more closely related to apples, pears, and quinces than citrus, for example, even though they have quat in the name, like kumquats, which are obviously a citrus. And they look completely different, the trees. They're evergreen, and they're quite cold hardy, but they're from China, and they're also very popular in Japan and grown a lot here. And yeah, it's the season now in sort of getting into mid to late spring. So I thought I'd buy some and give them a taste test. So they're often orange, yellow, can be white, quite juicy, and these ones are meant to be sweet, so let's give it a taste. Very strong, sweet, rich flavor. They taste really good. Much better than any I've had before. I used to have a tree at my old place back in Australia. It was a seedling tree, so variable quality, and the fruit was smaller than this, and not sweet at all, quite sour actually. But this is very sweet. I think it said it was meant to have a Brix of 13, but it tastes very sweet. It's got an almost like mandarin type flavor, almost mandarin orange type flavor. Not much acid, a little bit. I'd say sweetness, wow, like easy 8 out of 10. And maybe on the sourness tastes similar to the sourness you get on an apple actually, and it's maybe only like a 3, so much sweeter. And they have a few seeds in them, this one. Oh, I cut this one open just to see. That's what it sort of looks like. You do want to peel the skin, as you can see I've done here. Look, the skin's edible, and it tastes fine, but it's not really, textural. It's a little bit hairy as well, a little bit furry on the outside. So it's definitely nicer if you peel the skin like I've done here. And yeah, they have a few seeds. I've had one which only had 1 seed before, and that was really good. Seed to flesh ratio. These have about 3, which is quite normal. But still, like, they're a decently sized fruit. I've had bigger ones in the past. I was here last year and I had some, and they were much bigger than these. Some of them were like almost twice the size, but they were just very juicy, but they weren't really very sweet. So I was like, oh, is this really as good as they come? But then I've tried them again this year, and they're really good. I'd really recommend them. They're not cheap though. I think these 8 were maybe about, I don't know, maybe if it's in US dollars, maybe about $5 US, something like that. In Australian dollars is maybe like 6 something dollars for 8 fruit. But they don't have a long shelf life, which is why they're quite expensive. They can get bruised very easily. They're quite delicate, so that's why they're expensive. And this is what the seeds look like if you peel them off. You peel off this brown coating, you get this seed here. They often are what's called polyembryonic, so they actually contain more than one fruit or one plant. And you can see here, this one's likely polyembryonic because it's got this line in there. So there's actually 2 embryos in that seed. Anyway, the seeds are very easy to germinate. If you just sort of peel that off, soak it in water for maybe about a day, and then plant it in some soil, then they'll germinate normally in about 30 days or so, in about a month. And yeah, they're very hardy trees. Really would recommend them if you want a sort of almost tropical tasting fruit. Yeah, it tastes really sweet, almost like, fruit juice. A lot of citrus sort of notes, sometimes a little bit of pineapple-like flavor too. So they taste really different to, your apples and pears. But anyway, that's the loquat, or the biwa as it's called here. Really interesting fruit that I'd recommend people grow. Like, you can grow this in most places in the world. It's an extremely hardy plant. And yeah, ornamental too. Attractive leaves, flowers smell nice too, and yeah, you can have great fruit if you get a named cultivar. But anyway, that's all for now, and I'll see you in the next one.